morning, everybody. I'm Evelyn Thoren. I am your host for the next hour on the Dawn Patrol. It's a little chilly in here, so I'm just kind of cool coming in this morning. My co-host Sam Chase is here.
How cold is it outside?
I don't
50.
know. Yeah, I'm just cold.
The weather girl said it's 47 outside.
Well, that's probably Boston, right?
No, Lowell.
Lowell?
Yeah, I can look it up, but Chelmsford is always usually a little bit colder. I didn't look it up this morning. I was really
on
tired.
my car thermometer, which is, I think, accurate to...
49.
Yeah.
That's what my weather guy says. 49.
Yeah, my thermometer in my car is accurate to within a degree, so, yeah, it says 50, so that makes perfect sense. 49, 50.
Just have to get used to the cold. I don't mind sleeping in the cold, but because I have
It's
covers.
supposed to be warm today. They said, Channel 5 said it would get up to about 80 degrees.
I heard the same thing.
Oh, that works for me. I got a bunch of stuff to do, so that would be good. Bob Hoey isn't with us yet. We wish him well. He is home and recovering and probably doing physical therapy. Hopefully one of these days he will be able to join us again as a co-host. And we welcome that, and we're very pleased about his progression currently. So
yes.
if you're watching, Bob, hello.
Done very well, actually.
Yeah, I had my a phone call from my cousin in Dallas. He had back surgery. And in the course of the conversation, he goes, well, I do watch you on City Life.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Texas.
Sometimes, he says, on Facebook.
National exposure.
Yeah, if I want to listen to, some discussion on what's going on up there, he said, I turn it on. So he's in the hospital in Dallas having back surgery, and maybe he'll be listening to us this morning. Who knows? But they're an hour behind us, so I'm certainly sure.
Yes.
It's 5 o'clock, so I'm not sure
they're
that
on
they're
Central Time.
going to be able to do that. Today is 9/11, and we all remember 9/11. I think we're going to remember
2001.
Yep, we're going to remember it a little bit more because of the assassination of Charlie Kirk on 9/10, and we'll talk about some of that the first hour.
Terrible thing to happen yesterday.
Yep, and Vivian
31
Merrill,
years old.
Vivian Merrill will be in at 7, and that, so 9/11. So usually what people do is they say, so what were you doing
Yeah.
at that point in
It's
time?
it's like Pearl Harbor. Everybody who was alive and over a certain age remembers exactly where they were and what they were doing when that event occurred. So you're right. I actually had a very close friend. Well, I had a very close friend that died in it was on the aircraft, the Boston aircraft that smashed. But I also had another friend who was in New York City, and he was like a block away, and he watched the whole thing, the towers come down. And it's something that he'll never be able to erase from his mind,
Well,
So
the atrocities of war and terrorist activities, and anybody yesterday that experienced the death of Charlie Kirk, you don't forget that. It's very difficult to erase whatever you see.
well, it's like the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, well, I remember that vividly.
Everybody remembers where they were at that point too, and the circumstances surrounding.
Well, on Facebook this morning, Simon Cataldo had a very nice comment, and so I would have people take a look at that and hopefully adhere to some of the things that he said and agree with that, because you have an individual that was a conservative, and a lot of people may think, and some people were having, they were having cheers and parties, and I think this morning they said that they fired the guy from MSNBC that made the stupid comments about it. People were happy that he's gone, but people don't seem to understand.
I'm going to read Cataldo's
Yes,
comment.
because I thought it was very nice.
Because it's not that long, okay?
Yep.
All right, so Simon Cataldo, who is a state representative representing the 14th Middlesex District, which is 6 precincts in Chelmsford, the entire town of Carlisle, 4 precincts in Acton, and 3 precincts in Concord. That's his district. So he's the major rep in Chelmsford. We have 3 state reps. So Mr. Cataldo says, they say everyone is the hero of his own story. I'm guessing the person who killed Charlie Kirk thinks that about himself. But just to be clear, that person is a coward and a loser. As the governor of Utah said, if you're celebrating even a little bit inside, look in the mirror, then reconsider. Partisans and hacks are, for their own venal purposes, contributing to a serious derangement that has more and more people whispering about the desirability and justifiability of political violence. I've heard it, you've heard it. Gross. No thanks. Prayers up for Charlie Kirk's beautiful family. May his memory be a blessing. I don't think I could have said it any better.
Well, that's why I wanted to bring
All
it
right,
up.
and
It was one of the first things I read this morning.
yeah, that's yeah, and that's exactly right. You really don't need to say too much more about it than that.
But I think it's ironic that there's a number of Democrats that make comments similar to that, except that their rhetoric on a daily basis is the opposite, which is unfortunate. And I
Well, you
think
get it from the other side too.
Well, I was
Let's-
just going to say,
let's-
there's certain amount.
Let's be fair. Let's
Yes,
be fair.
but I don't think that the other, one side's calling for the death of people, as much as the other side is, which is unfortunate. And there's just, to me, it's just too much of it. When they, on one of the other TV programs, when they made the comment, one of the more liberal comments, I mean, the audience cheered. I mean, this is ridiculous, for somebody to cheer the assassination of a young man who really is, I would say that somebody put a hit out on him because there's no way one bullet of an amateur was going to do that kind of damage from that distance.
Oh, no, that was a professional.
That's correct.
200 yards?
Yeah.
And it was a neck shot?
Yeah.
So it was probably a head shot. He's probably aiming for the head, I would guess. No, you don't need to say much more about it. That
No,
was
and
that was a
that's really
professional.
sad.
That was a professional.
But one of the things
situation.
that I don't think that the people that don't agree with Charlie understand, or that wanted his demise, is that when you do something like this, you have more people that will stand up.
Well,
It's kind of like what happened
Yeah.
with Pearl Harbor. You've awakened the sleeping giant.
That's exactly right.
And that's the thing I thought this morning,
That's exactly
after
right.
reading and listening to different things,
Well,
before I got here.
I think it certainly didn't hurt. It certainly didn't hurt Trump when they tried to kill him. I think during his campaign.
But if they have
I
hit
think-
men like that, they better make sure that
But
the
I think-
security is tight on
right,
him.
But I think that helped Trump's campaign when he was shot.
Well, yeah, because of his reaction.
Right, and so you're right. Sometimes it has the opposite effect of. But I think people who carry these things out, they're mostly deranged people, or unless
they're getting paid.
or unless it was a professional thing. But usually that's not the case. Usually it's some nut, and they're not thinking beyond, take the guy out.
Well, I listened to different things with Charlie Kirk, and he wanted people to think, and to see a different viewpoint. And there was only 2 questions that got in before he got killed, and the first one had to do with religion, because they're in Utah, they're in a different religious area. And he said, I'm not here to debate religion. This is the choice that you made. And he went through different things and made people feel, I thought the comments should have made people feel comfortable about the fact that he's not going to challenge you on that. He will challenge you on how you think, and he'll point out
right.
other things.
He was, I've watched a number of his things, and he was always very respectful when he was debating, and people would come at him, and they would not necessarily be very respectful, but he always reacted in a very calm and controlled manner. So he wasn't he wasn't aggressive or mean or vindictive or anything like that. And, I mean, this is a horrible thing regardless of what the circumstances are or who the people are. But, I mean, you can at least understand the assassination of some guy who, or some person who's up there, calling for violent revolution or calling for other people to be killed. I mean, you can at least understand why somebody would want to. But a guy like Kirk, who was essentially nonviolent and not aggressively confrontational, and every time I saw him, always spoke in a very respectful manner, and many times would tell his crowd of supporters to be quiet and let the other fellow talk. Okay, so I mean, he was not somebody who outwardly looked like he was a very threatening person. The thing that surprised me yesterday, I didn't realize how young he was. I thought he's only 32, I think, which is terrible. That's the headline in the Sun. RDT canned and conservative activist Charlie Kirk assassinated. So they are using the term assassinated. So I mean, apparently there's some thought, and I think the circumstances lead to that conclusion. just the fact of where the shooter supposedly was and the one shot, which 200 yards. That's pretty good shooting.
Well, that's like shooting Kennedy.
Yeah.
The person that tried to shoot Trump, the first one. I mean, to me, they're using amateurs. So,
Yeah, but that guy was accurate. I mean, the only reason Trump wasn't killed is because he turned. I think if Trump had been facing straight forward, that bullet would have hit him square in the head. So,
Agreed.
yeah, and so that was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, wasn't he closer? Anyway, that's beside the point. So, our thoughts go out to especially a young family. He had a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. And 31, I was talking to my sister on the way in, and I said to her, that my thoughts were similar to, and this, I am not making a comparison in terms of Jesus Christ versus Charlie Kirk, because Charlie Kirk is no Jesus Christ. However, they got rid of one, and the movement and the religious, what do you want to call it, organizations that followed after, and because of the strong beliefs that people had in Christ, may be similar. Not that Charlie was that, but he also was in his 30s.
No, but
And that's what will happen is
Yeah.
you'll have a lot of younger people. They want to get rid of him because he was an influencer of the young people. And there is the younger movement, like there was in Germany with the Nazis, is to try to convince all of our children, our
Right.
youth.
they're more easily convincible.
Well, yeah, because they're naive about things.
Right.
And so you have a lot of the agendas that was in the colleges, and also has trickled down into secondary school education to follow a very different path than what education originally was intended to do, very similar to what happened in Nazi Germany. And so it's interesting that when you have one side call the other side Nazis, really what they're doing is they're calling the other side what they really are, and it's unfortunate. And not everybody fits into that group, but it's if you've studied history and watched what goes on. I mean, we're old enough. I would assume that the next thing they want to do is get rid of all of us because we have memory, and we also had an education that was more balanced than it is today as far as history goes. So that being stated, which is also controversial, we'll see how that goes. If anybody happens to be listening at 6:15 a.m.
Let's talk. John, you put that headline up, and the top headline was that RDD was canned from market basket. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Well,
I
will
find-
we start the boycott?
I find that very interesting. Yeah, his sisters, basically, the board, unanimously, that's what they said on the news this morning. I didn't see the Sun
But I'd like
article
to know
yet.
why they decided to get rid of him. I mean, you've got a successful market chain, a supermarket chain,
What was
with him at the head.
Does this go into the category, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
So is it only because of family and they didn't have enough control? Were they influenced by
Who knows?
some other individuals or they made things up? I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
But I will tell you, I
Yeah.
went to Hannaford's in Rochester when we were up in New Hampshire, and some of their prices were definitely competitive with Market Basket.
really?
Oh, yeah. Generally speaking, they're more expensive.
Yeah, because the Hannaford's in here is more expensive.
Yes, most of the
Yeah.
supermarkets are a lot more expensive, but I think it's because there may not be as many of them.
Well, my wife does Market Basket and Stop and Shop both, because she knows there are some items that you can get in Stop and Shop that actually are priced lower than Market Basket, and there are some items that she feels the quality is better at Stop and Shop, so, she'll do both. But the thing that is interesting about the Market Basket is it doesn't seem that we've got the same public reaction that we had 10 years ago, when the public essentially boycotted Market Basket. They wouldn't shop there, and in support of Artie. Now, this time, that doesn't seem to have the same traction. I don't think they're going to get the same reaction this time that they did 10 years ago.
Well, do you think that because the way that, generally speaking, the prices are and inflation and the economy and that, especially in Massachusetts, excuse me, do you think that people aren't going to boycott because Market Basket's the cheapest place to go, generally?
I think that's probably right.
Now, if you only shop sales,
Right.
then there's other places you can go. But you have to make sure that you understand when they're going to have the sale, what it is that you need, so that you're only shopping sales, which is all I ever did, to fit into what I wanted
Well,
to eat.
Right. And traditionally, at least in this area, and I think most of us understand that the pricing is better generally at Market Basket. But the other thing I always liked about, two things that I always liked about Market Basket is they generally have a wider selection at Market Basket. So you walk into Stop and Shop, and maybe you get 2 or 3 brands of an item. You walk into Market Basket, and you'll get 5 or 6 brands of that same item. So I find that the Market Basket, you have more of a choice, generally. And the other thing I like about the Market Basket is that I don't care what store you go into, they're all laid out the same.
So Sam, I guess the question comes down, are you going to continue to shop?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you the shopper?
Yeah. Unless...
Are you the shopper?
No, my
Okay.
wife is. Occasionally I'll go, but generally she is. She'll continue to do it until there is a change. If the quality goes down, then she
My
won't,
wife is
she won't do
changing
it.
stores.
Because she wants to support him.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, everywhere I go, I got to go further if I want to do a different
Now,
store. But Whole Foods is in Westford, so I'm between 2 Market Baskets.
Well,
one
Super
in
Wa-
Westford and one in
She's
East
going to try
Cape Plaza.
Super Walmart.
It depends on what you want to buy there.
well, they have a lot of stuff
Yeah,
at
they do.
Walmart. Yeah, they
Because
do.
we go to Super Walmart
Yeah.
often, not all the time,
You
down
go
to
to the one
Happy
in-
Hampton.
You go to the one in Tewksbury?
No, the one down Hampton.
Okay.
So I think it's in Seabrook or one of those towns, and it's gigantic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you talk about variety, Sam.
Oh, yeah, no,
They have 50 brands of ketchup, for God's sake.
Even
Right, but
even the small Walmart in Drum Hill, and that's considered a small Walmart. Their grocery section is pretty substantial.
And
you
the
know.
Tewksbury
Yeah.
Super Walmart's great.
Yep.
So
But their prices are still higher than Market Basket. Because I've shopped the Super Walmart that's in Rochester, New Hampshire. And,
well,
but I've gone to,
if you don't think the prices of Market Basket are going to go up?
yes.
Well, I'm sure that's
Oh,
part,
yeah.
I'm sure that's
And
part
that-
of the
and that-
problem.
And that will be where
Yeah.
you have people leave, because people are looking for the
See, right now,
lesser prices.
corporate America is looking at income. And the DeMoss family is going to look at how much dough we taking in today compared to yesterday. Because yesterday, they smashed the gauntlet. They got rid of their brother. So now we got the big family feud going on. So they're going to be looking, well, we can kiss and make up. People worship money over everything else in the world. It goes back to Moses. And that's just my take on the whole thing. They're going to be watching sales today. They're going to be watching sales over the weekend to see, do people really care?
Well, like your wife, some people will boycott it.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I shop out of convenience most of the time because I really don't like to shop, which sounds funny. But
Evelyn,
Oh,
2
no, I
minutes ago you were
understand.
saying you go out of your way to go to DeMoss's.
I understand.
no, I didn't say that. I said the Market Basket, I have two of them. I didn't say I went out of my way for it. I'm between two, one in Westford and one in Eastgate Plaza.
Okay.
And then on the way to the one in Westford, you go by Whole Foods. So depending upon what I want, since I'm going by the front door, and the same thing going by the other one with Stop and Shop, if I know that there's different things for sale in the other markets, I just have to go across the street.
Well, you also have to realize that corporate greed, people, Whole Foods, No Foods, whatever they want to call these little horse feather stores that sell groceries, they're all going to sell things as cheap as they can to try to grab the DeMoss customer.
Oh, yeah, they'll have sales. They've already had them at Hannaford's. I was surprised when I went in, because that was
So
a little
that's
more
my
convenient.
takeaway.
When I went up to New Hampshire
The Stop and
couple of weeks
Shop across the street from the Market Basket in Chelmsford, the Stop and Shop, actually, that's a nice store. I think it's a nice store.
Well, when they first went in, the people that ran it, the management, they were great. And
And
there
they were
was-
cooperative with the town.
Yes.
As well.
And there was a whole lot of different things that was going on, with the different PTOs and,
Right.
and that.
First comment from the audience today. Good morning. Last week, someone was walking around UMass Lowell, apparently armed. What happened to that story? Well, they did find the kiddo that had the gun. It was a toy gun. The kid was 12 years old. And when I was 12, I used to play Army a lot. And if I had a real good-looking gun, I would have been playing with it too. So it was a 12-year-old, good size 12-year-old. I mean, 12-year-old kids are big. And the kid was just playing.
Yeah, but some of these toy,
That's the end of that story.
some of
That's
these
why it went
toy,
nowhere.
some of these toy guns, though, are pretty realistic looking, so I can understand why somebody would
Well,
think.
Sam, didn't you have a realistic looking gun?
They weren't as realistic as the ones today. You could,
I agree, but
You
didn't
could
you have
tell.
a realistic looking gun?
I had.
I had two 6-shooters, baby.
I had the revolvers, the cowboy revolvers.
Yeah, well, I had two beauties.
But nobody would mistake those for real firearms. Some
Even
of
when
the,
you had the cap going? I had caps too.
oh yeah, we had all that stuff. I don't even know if they still do that. Do they still make those? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
No, because that's
Gunpowder and kids.
That's old technology.
Well, that's true. That's old technology. Well, we're old, so, why not?
Now they have things with batteries and it makes
I
the
love old
sounds.
technology, as you know.
One of the
Simple.
other things when we want to follow up with past news is Cracker Barrel. Okay, they
Yeah.
put the old guy back.
Yeah, they did.
and
We
then-
almost went there for Monday Night Dinner Club
Well, you
next
should
week.
have.
Yeah, and you could have evaluated it and then found out, what
Because
the
the late
quality of
great
the
George
food was.
Zaharoulis used to pick that place.
So the article that I sent you guys to read, it talked about how there was new management, a new CEO, I think that's who it was, the woman. And whatever she's doing, they're trying to increase the money, increase the bottom line.
Well, let's start at the beginning. The reason they made changes, whether you agree or
Are you
disagree
talking
with
about
the changes.
DeMoses now?
No,
No,
Cracker
Cracker
Barrel.
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Okay.
The reason they made the changes is because they were losing sales.
No, they lost a lot more when they made the changes.
Well, I understand that, but you understand that it's perfectly normal, okay, if your company is losing revenue, and losing market share, it's perfectly normal if you're running the company to think we need to make some change, right?
Right, but one
Okay.
of the changes that they made initially and why they were losing people was the quality of their food.
Exactly.
And
It had
that was
nothing to do with the logo or anything else.
No, and what it looked
Right.
like on the inside. It had to
Right.
do with the fact that when people went there and ate, their biscuits that they used to
Right.
make fresh, they froze so that they'd
Right.
reheat them. It was like McDonald's.
Right.
And so, and even McDonald's biscuits are really good when you get one of those. But they said that, the biscuit quality went down.
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of an awful lot of their cooks and their short order cooks and their sous chefs that were making fresh food so that they could go into making food in advance, freezing it, refrigerating it, and then microwaving it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Trying to cut costs.
Yes, and in doing so, because the people realized what the quality of the food was, they lost people.
Of course.
Then they decided they wanted to, oh, well, if we're losing sales, we got to do this, this, and this, and that's not helping either.
No.
They would just go back and do what they did that
The
was.
answer was bring the quality of the food back
Yeah,
up.
go back to what it originally was, and people will show up.
Well, you know-
Well, the free publicity they got out of this stunt is
Well,
amazing.
That's a very good point. But let me
But the
give,
foods will still keep people away.
as a person who spent 43 years in corporate America, let me tell you why that happened. It's very simple. Okay? So the quality of the food at Cracker Barrel was going down. So that meant that people in the management positions were making decisions, okay, as to how they can cut costs to increase the profit margin, okay? So they make conscious decisions to lower the quality of the food. Like you say, let's freeze the biscuits and let's not have the fresh food and blah, blah, blah. So they make those decisions, and then they lose sales. And they say, something is wrong.
So then they fire people.
So,
To make
but
money.
here's the thing. Most of these people in the big corporate executive offices are narcissists, and they are incapable of admitting that they made a mistake. So, they made a mistake by lowering the quality of the food. They lose sales, but they can't look in the mirror and say, gee, we screwed up, let's bring the... So they figure they're losing sales for some other reason, okay?
Than the decisions they made.
Right, so it wasn't the quality of the food, it's, oh, well, the place looks old-fashioned, or people are upset with the old man on the Cracker Barrel, whatever it is, and then they make another bad decision. Okay, this is the way it
Get rid of
works.
the old man.
There are very few corporate executives, and I'm talking big companies. This is not a problem so much with the smaller companies, because the smaller companies, it has to be more dynamic, okay? But a huge company, you get these guys at the top, and they're perfect, and they never make a mistake. So when they do make a mistake, they don't recognize it, and then they make another mistake to correct the mistake that they didn't recognize. That's what happened in Cracker Barrel. Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think
so
they ate crow pretty quick. It took them about a week to turn that thing around.
have they improved the quality of their food?
Well,
Or did they just go back to the logo?
from Fred Wilkie, another sad day in America.
Yes.
Thanks, Fred. I think what happened is with the consumer out there, with all this free publicity they got, I mean, you had Trump complain about Cracker Barrel. Now, Trump never would have talked about Cracker Barrel without the change in the logo. But
Right.
the change in the logo prompted him to complain about it. So I'm going to guess nationwide, people said, let's go to Cracker Barrel. Let's give it a try.
Well, you could be right.
Yeah, so their sales could have gone up
Yeah.
momentarily.
Because I haven't been there for like a year.
I've only been to Cracker Barrel, I think, twice in my life. The only reason I wouldn't go is because it's out of my way. My dad loved to go to Cracker Barrel, so when
Well, it's
my,
out Andover Street. I think it's in Tewksbury.
yeah.
It is, and it's right near where I used to work, so I used to take people to lunch there all the time, and this was years ago, and I always thought the food was very good. I'm going back 10, 11 years now, okay?
Yeah.
And it was convenient. It was a 5-minute ride from the office, so that's why we went there.
So
Yeah.
when Glenn used to take my dad to his high school reunions and stuff, they'd always go to Cracker Barrel.
Yep.
And of course, Glenn would tell the story about how my father would always create a crowd because he was in his 90s and he'd wear his Guadalcanal hat. And he was a very personable individual. And so there's all kinds of little stories that they all tell.
I'll
So
tell you one thing about Cracker Barrel 10, 11 years ago. I don't know about now. It was one of the few restaurants where you could get a tuna sandwich. Now, you think about these places. Very few places have tuna on the menu for a sandwich. Cracker Barrel, you could always get a tuna sandwich.
well, they usually a lot of them are very limited.
Yes.
You have the 110 Grill, that's a franchise.
Can you get a tuna sandwich there? Probably
No,
not.
but you can get a toasted cheese, because one of the things on the
Oh,
menu.
you can always get a grilled
Well-
cheese sandwich at any place.
Well, on the menu, that's one of the things
Yeah.
they have on the, I don't order that. One of the things on their menu is a grilled cheese with tomato soup.
Oh, that sounds good.
And so but everything else is standard. You go into 110 Grill, the menu is exactly the same as another one.
Yes.
The difference is whoever the chefs are that's cooking the food.
Well, you remember when the 110 Grill opened in Chelmsford? It
Well, that was a very long
Let me
time
ask
ago.
Evelyn, how
It
often
wasn't
do you
very
go out to dinner?
Well, it depends on the month. Sometimes once a week.
Sam, how often do you go out to dinner?
Maybe once a month.
Okay, we go out once or twice a week. And we go the same, we go to good times. Like the other day, we had a magnificent dinner. It was Ellen's birthday. So we went to the Village Inn in Dracut, and I called up, there was 11 of us. It was a surprise for my wife, so kind of, you can't surprise my wife. She knows what's going on. But at any rate, I called out there, make a reservation for 11, because it's just going to be immediate family. And I lucked out. I got Paula Del Rossi answers the phone, which is Eileen's sister. And she's the manager out there. So I tell her what's going on. So we go in. She gives us a nice little secluded spot with 11 people. And what the feast we got was like, the whole family was amazed at how much food they give you, the bounty we went home with. And it was just incredible. And we had a nice little gal waiting on. Her name was Michelle. And fantastic time. The food was great. Service was great. Very home-like. And it wasn't a brand spanking new. I mean, the Village Inn, whether you guys have enjoyed going out there or
Yeah,
not.
I've been there. It's very nice. Food
Yeah.
is good.
And
I haven't been there.
Had a
Yep.
great time. Had a great time.
Yep.
And there was tons of. There was another meal. Everybody took another meal home. Mm-hmm. The leftovers from their meal.
Well, I always like that because you get two meals for the price of one.
Yep, exactly.
Well, anyway, since we're on the subject of food, there's been different articles out there about linking artificial sweeteners to cognitive decline. So you want to take a look at all of those different,
Which sweeteners? Saccharin. Saccharin's been banned in Europe for 50 years.
well, the six they looked at were aspartame, saccharin, sulfame K, erythritol,
What's the matter with all
sorbitol,
this
and
good stuff?
xylitol. Huh?
Do you use artificial sweetener?
Me? No.
I do. Sweet and low.
Yeah,
Plus
that's
Splenda.
and that's bad.
Splenda.
The
It's bad too?
Yeah, it's
the
all bad.
erythritol. That's the
Bad.
thing that they use.
What am I supposed to use?
Sugar. There's and there's
That's
natural
my
stuff.
nickname.
Well, here's the thing. People are funny. I'll tell you a story that goes way back. I was 21 years old. I was going to Northeastern, and my co-op job was working for the Haverhill Housing Authority, okay? So I was turning 21, so one of the senior employees wanted to take me out for lunch. So he takes me out to lunch. We go to this nice place up in Haverhill. And this fellow was a big eater. And he orders like a 6-course meal, right? I mean, soup to nuts. It couldn't have been less than 6,000 calories, okay? And he has everything. And then at the end of the meal, the waitress says, "Would you like coffee?" He says, "Yes." She brings the coffee, and he drops a saccharin tablet in the coffee.
Yeah, it doesn't make
And
any
I
sense.
said, "Lenny," I said, "what the hell are you doing?" I said, "You just had 6,000 calories, and you're saving 18 calories by throwing a saccharin tablet in your coffee." I said, "What?" He says, "Well, you got to cut down somewhere," right? So, a lot of times people, and you see it all the time, people go out to McDonald's or Burger King and they order this huge thing with 3 hamburgers and
And
cheese.
a Diet Coke.
And French fries and a Diet Coke. What are you doing? okay? I mean, you got 2,000 calories of food, and you're trying to save 50 calories on
Well,
your
sometimes
soda.
people just like the
Yeah,
taste.
it makes no sense to
Because
me.
it has it definitely has
Right,
a different
right.
taste. I try not to use any artificial sweeteners. Now, there are more natural ones, and then, I'm assuming that there's a lot of studies on the stevia.
Well, I don't do sugar because of my teeth. That's why I don't do sugar. I like artificial sweetener just because I'm saving my teeth. For what? I don't know what I'm saving
I don't have a
for.
problem with my teeth. I don't even remember the last time I had a filling, and I do stuff with sugar.
You're a lucky dog. Giving a shout out to Bob Hoey. He predicted Dan Finn would make it to November. That's from Bart.
Yeah, what happened in the election yesterday?
I'll put
Tuesday.
that up in a second. We got
City one.
sad Charlie Kirk. Thank you for your comments.
Anyway, just to finish up on the artificial sweeteners, there's an awful lot of stuff that's out there. I'm very cognitive of diet, what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating, and why. And if you have certain
You are what
medical
you eat.
issues, yeah, you are what you eat is true. But I've done a lot of research for me and trying to come to some common denominators. So I would suggest that, if anybody has certain medical issues, that some of them can be helped with eating the right foods.
Oh, without a doubt.
Because all of the junk foods and everything, they
Without a
have
doubt.
proven that there's a problem with that, and they're startled with the increase in colon cancer and liver issues and stomach issues and everything, and again, cognitive decline, younger people, because all they're doing is eating fast foods. Now, fast foods, on occasion, just like with anything in moderation, should not be a problem.
Right.
And of course, everybody brings up the fact that the president has McDonald's. Well, at 80 years old, if you can do what he's doing, I'm not going to question what his diet
No,
is.
and his genetics allow it. I mean, and you bring up a good point. You said you did the research for you. Everybody's body is different. Everybody metabolizes differently. I've always not liked the idea that the doctor says, well, this is the chart for you, you should weigh this, or you should, that's baloney. Everybody's body is different. You've got to, like Evelyn says, you've got to experiment with food to see what suits your particular body. I mean, my father could sit there and eat 5 pounds of chocolate every night and not gain a pound. I walk by a bakery and take a whiff, and I gain 3 pounds, okay? Everybody's body is different. You have
How much
to,
do you want to waste?
you have to, I like to weigh 20 pounds less than I weigh now. But the thing.
We all wanna weigh
You
something
have to
different.
hold your arms out in the shower so you don't go down the drain now.
Well, that's not true. But the thing is that everybody's metabolism is different. Some people handle, my father could handle carbohydrate intake, and it didn't bother him. I have to be careful of my carbohydrate intake, or I put on weight. Some people don't handle proteins very well. So everybody, you have to figure out what works for you, okay? And this one-size-fits-all that the medical profession used to, they're a lot better now. I think they understand nutrition better now than they did 30 or 40 years ago. But when I was a kid, it was one-size-fits-all, and that's what they used to tell you, and it's wrong. You have to tailor a diet specifically to your body type and the way it handles food intake.
Well, they've done all kinds of research and studies.
Yeah.
There's certain ones out there, depending upon your blood type, what should you eat?
Exactly.
So if you're in the O negative, O positive, you could eat more protein, more meat. If you are into the A, in the ABs, you're supposed to have more vegetables. I find that interesting because my sister always is in the O group, and so is most of my family. And they seem to do very well with a lot of meat, but I'm in the A group.
A positive?
I do a whole lot better if I was a vegetarian. But there's also what's interesting is I do have some medical issues, and some of them are related to diet. And you find that there's certain foods that you eat that you might feel a little funny about, well, then don't eat them. And then if
Gee, that makes sense.
well, yeah, but some people don't. They
Oh,
don't
you're right.
recognize it. They just say, "Oh, well, I'm having a bad day." There's, certain foods that may just kind of like go through you. Well, don't eat those either. You want something that kind of hangs around for a while.
Right.
Some people need to be on a high fiber diet, and then it's dependent upon age. And when I was younger, I could do what your father did. I could eat and eat and eat and eat and never put on any weight. I turned 50, 60, forget it. I got to be very careful.
Yeah, and the problem is with that is that after 50 years, you develop that habit, and now it's hard to break.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right, that's the problem.
Sherry O'Connor Barbosa says Panera Bread has tuna sandwich.
Yes, they do.
It's about $15, love it, but it's crazy expensive.
But you know what you can get at Panera? You probably already know this. You can buy a half sandwich, and I find that that's enough for me.
Well, yeah, because
I go to the deli, get a large tuna, or I go to
Yeah.
Expressos, get a large tuna. Page 2 here, we also had to eat our vegetables if we said, I don't like them. Our parents said, too bad, that's what I made.
Gee, that sounds like my mother.
Well, yeah, because I was in
You
many
asked
cases,
about yesterday's election, Sam, and
This is not a restaurant, she would
a
say.
frame from, these
well, I was
are
short on a cook.
Okay,
these are doggone close to what the real results
all
are.
right, let's see what we got
So
here.
up in Belvedere, Belinda Duran, she walked away with, she got 453. Coming in second was Dan Finn, out of the run. Sitting Councilor Corey Belanger, he was out of the run.
Oh, no, that's too bad.
And newcomer Erin Gendron, she was out of the run as well. And then yesterday, also over in the Acre, we had Sidney Lang. He came in number 1 with 148 votes.
That's it?
That's not 1,000, it's 148 votes.
Boy, the turnout was terrible.
Paul Rathayem, the sitting city councilor, came in number 2 at 105. And Jose Cervantes, who's coming tomorrow, came out with 84. Then up in the higher ones, we had, I forget what Candido's first name is. He was here for, good kid, 272. And sitting city councilor John Dakota came out at 265.
So people are,
And Cisco Maldonado came out of the run with
so people
207.
favored the challengers, not the incumbents.
correct. That seems what I'm looking at, yeah.
So what, do we know what the percentage of turnout was? Do you have that
No, but
information?
the numbers is what is, Sam,
Oh, it's-
we probably spent $100,000 on the election, and 2,000 people voted.
I was going to say, it couldn't be more than about 3 or 4%, right?
So
Yeah.
Very, very low.
that was the council. What about school committee?
Yeah, how'd we do on?
No, there was no school committee race.
Oh, that's
okay.
right, there's, yeah,
Not every city council had a race either.
that's right. Because this is a runoff, right?
Right.
So,
Well, anyway, we were talking about food, but that doesn't mean we have to continue to talk about food.
oh yeah, but
We're
that's a
expecting-
great subject.
Oh, I know. I love talking about food because I deal with it all the time, apparently.
Well, yes, you do, and you're a good cook. And
So-
part of that is because you're a chemist.
Yeah, well, I know what goes together.
Right.
It's easy, you balance it out. I mean, what I made this morning, I didn't use a recipe for, but I've been making stuff for 50, 60 years, so and I think it's only been like within the past 5 years that I stopped using, not all recipes, because some things you have to know the proportions if you're doing something new. But I did stop some stuff, and then other stuff I've played with a little bit. Like I said, I made meatloaf.
Very good.
Yeah,
by
I
the
made
way.
meatloaf, and I didn't have enough breadcrumbs. So we had,
So she put sawdust in.
no,
I'm just
I
kidding.
could have, it's cellulose. It's in a lot of different packages. Didn't have that either, but there's like little cracker things that are sesame seeds. And they taste really good, especially the honey one, the honey sesame, whatever they're called. And so I ground those up and put it in. Gave a little bit of a different flavor
was
because
good.
it had sesame in it.
It was good.
And I thought that was pretty good. And I always put Worcestershire sauce in my my meatloaf.
And that's good if you don't put in too much.
Well, you couldn't taste it, but
No.
it was just enough.
No, it was perfect.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
it was pretty good. And then what my son likes to do in mashed potatoes is to put a chunk of cream cheese in it.
Now, that's
So,
interesting.
and that adds fat, but
Well, so
it-
then you don't need the butter.
you don't need the butter, but
Right.
he does that too. So if you take a look at him and his family, I mean, they're like bean poles, so they can sort of take it, and their cholesterols are low because they're all into sports and running and doing all the things they're supposed to do.
McDonald's is offering an $8 Big Mac value for a limited time. They also have the best fries in the
I'll have to,
business.
well, I'm not into Big Mac.
I
how-
agree, Bart, they have
How much is
delicious fries.
how much is a Big Mac normally?
Well, that's a value meal, so you're into
Okay.
double digits.
How many people lost their taste smelling during COVID?
No, I didn't.
I did not either.
I don't know anybody that did.
No, I don't
I
either.
lost mine. I just got it back.
Well, my mother doesn't, but she's 104, so she doesn't have much taste and smell
Well, I got a
either.
long way to go to 104, baby.
Yeah,
That's
right,
good.
if we even get there. And she's on her way to 105, so hopefully I'll see her today and we'll see how things are going.
When's her birthday?
April,
Okay.
so she's almost at half
So
a
she's
year.
like 104 and a half,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't look it. In many cases, she
Doesn't look a day over 103.
Oh, no, she doesn't look a day
Oh.
much older than 80,
No, she
85.
doesn't. No, she doesn't.
Yeah, so.
That's amazing.
Genetics is not too
Well,
bad.
that's a good indicator for you.
Maybe. My father took good care of her because he did all the cooking and all fresh everything.
And he lived to be 100.
Yes, and I'm the one that's doing all the cooking. I think I'll die of stress. But when we talk about food, we want to make sure that people understand that, again, the fast food things, the processed foods. I mean, if anybody wants to know what's going on, you can certainly, run a text or a message to John. We'll list all of the stuff that you really shouldn't do. There are a lot of things that you can do, and so that it tastes like fast food, because you can make a lot of stuff on your own, or there's also a lot of organic stuff out there. I don't buy a lot of organic stuff. I'm not eating that much food, so I don't
expensive.
have to. I would prefer to have my own garden, but we back up to wetlands, and I don't think, and regardless of where I have houses, there's a lot of animals, and they all like to eat the food. So that's really different. One of my sons had a peach tree. I made peach jam. I still have more peaches, but the smell of the peaches is unbelievable in comparison to what you have in a grocery store. I don't care what grocery store it is, unless you have something that buys local fresh produce.
Well, a lot of them do.
And, yeah, but it's still, I mean, Parley's has their little stand over there on Pine
Yep.
Hill Road.
Yep.
And I would suggest people go, to the different fruit stands and vegetable stands. And
We
they
always
also have,
get stuff from Parley's.
yep, and they also have fresh eggs.
Yep.
So if people want to get stuff that's over there, that's a plug for them. They don't pay me, and I don't necessarily, I don't go there.
No, but it's a local thing, and the Parleys
Excuse me.
have been in town forever and ever. Caroline Parley actually runs she runs the farm operation, and they have wonderful strawberries and blueberries and corn and tomato, and like you said, everything. Yeah, so
And you can pick your own.
And
They
you
have
can
it
pick
so
your
that you can
own,
pick
yeah,
your own.
we
But
get
they've
a-
always had that for like 40-something years.
Oh yeah, we get our stuff.
Because when the kids were little, we'd go pick the strawberries. And then I make strawberry jam, a strawberry fruit leather, and different things like that. But again, there's a lot of stuff that's there, and there's a lot of information. And then there's a lot of stuff on Facebook about foraging. So you have to be very cautious about.
About what?
Foraging.
What the hell is foraging?
Foraging. F-O-R-A, what is it?
G-I-N-G.
G-I-N-G. Look it up. It's really, it's a fascinating thing. If you had no food, how would you eat?
What is it?
You go out into nature, and there's stuff you can eat that grows wild.
Right.
Not
That you would
me.
never know. Some people
Not me.
think that it's
I'm going to the
weeds.
fridge.
Yes, but if you don't have the fridge,
Everybody's got a fridge.
We're all dying. Please show the baked goodie. Go ahead.
That's
Joe.
coming up the second hour.
All right.
yeah, second hour,
You're gonna
please
have
stay
to
with
wait.
us.
Gonna have to wait to see the baked goods.
What did you make of anyway?
Well, what I concocted today, I had a baked sweet potato. It was already cooked, obviously.
It's a bread.
Yeah, it's the bread.
Okay.
I mean, I don't do cupcakes because I'm not good at cupcakes. And so this again is my little loaf cakes. I don't do the big pans, the bigger, what do you want to call it? The 5x9 or 5x10 pan. I use a lot smaller ones. That way it cooks in about 25 or less minutes instead of an hour. And I get enough of them, I can hand them out if people want some, and it's enough to have for a couple of times. But anyway, there was sweet potato in it. I had banana. I couldn't taste the banana. I always taste my food after I make it. And I had craisins, because I like those better than raisins. And almond flour to replace some of the regular flour. And what was the other? Oh, zucchini, because I happen to have zucchini.
So we have a very healthy
It's a healthier bread.
thing.
Yeah.
It
So
might
you-
even qualify as a vegetable.
Yeah, but you can't taste it. And so 4 of those
With the
small
zucchini.
loaves that I make,
Yeah.
there's 1 cup of sugar in those 4 loaves.
That's good. So you don't put too much sugar in.
No, but the sugar comes in the glaze. So when I did the glaze, I did cinnamon and vanilla. And there was something else I put in it. But I forget what that was.
Now, see, I like your apple pie because you do about half the amount of sugar that most people
Well, I don't have a
would put
bottom.
in the pie, and that's why I don't eat, that's why I don't eat Danish. It's too sweet. I can't take it. It's just too
I
sweet.
had to try making Danish,
Yeah,
because then
but-
you'd know really what that was.
And my brother used to make a blueberry pie with no sugar.
Oh,
Boy,
that's tart.
but I loved it. I loved his blueberry pie because I like it tart, And not only did he not put sugar in, he'd throw in some lemon juice, make it even tartar, right? And
Well,
I used to love that.
I've made the lemon
Yeah.
blueberry cakes and brought those in.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of combinations of things.
But he would do the apple pie with no sugar. Now, I like a little bit, but most people put way too much.
Well, I've brought the apple pie here,
Yeah.
and I know that John likes it. So that's why a lot of times what I have reflects cinnamon, because it's kind of like the.
Yep.
I mean, I know that you like coconut and coconut cream donuts, but I'm not making coconut cream donuts. And I made the pina colada cake that day.
Donuts are a pain in the neck because of the frying.
Yeah, but you can bake donuts. You can have cake donuts. I don't like cake donuts.
It's
but-
easy just to go to the store.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Vivian's going to join us shortly,
Hey, Viv, the door should be open.
and
Yep,
Thanks,
she'll
Mike.
be here. We'll ask her about the food.
we'll see what she has to say about that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's a couple of other things just to briefly comment on. One of them was that the Attorney General in Massachusetts has approved a ballot question to get rid of marijuana sales in Massachusetts. There was a citizen's petition went out, so we'll see how that
Amazing.
gogs.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I thought it was.
Where a lot of communities have adopted.
Yep. And then the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, donated, what did it say, like $5 million? I don't know what it was, to build houses and housing for veterans. And of course, some of the liberal comments were, well, he's got plenty of money, why not? So he donated all the proceeds from
You can't win.
I know.
You can't win. How often do you get a public official who puts his money where his mouth is?
Yeah, and then
Okay?
they
You ought to
made the
get
same.
ought to get credit for that.
And then they
Right.
made the same comment about the president in
Yeah.
the fact that he donates his
Well,
salary.
I remember years ago, Bob Hope was criticized. He gave some enormous amount of money to some local charity out in California, and they complained that he should have given more. And my comment was, he
Take it
didn't have to.
away.
He didn't have to give any. Okay, so I mean, you
I
just
would have asked, how much did you give?
unbelievable.
I would have asked that wise guy, how much did you give?
Well, exactly.
So another thing, one of the articles I sent you guys is the fact that China has a steel jaw, I don't know what you'd call it. It's some kind of an underwater vehicle that they're very concerned about having them cut all the cables that they've laid between our country and Europe. So we'll see what kind of act of war that's there. And there was an
why
article I
would we
sent you, we
wanna-
were talking about food. was,
Why would we want to cut those cables out?
No, the Chinese
the
would cut them.
Chinese want to cut the cables. It's the Chinese that are doing that, among other things. They also created some kind of a mega dam, and everybody's concerned about the fact that going
Chinese
to
make
keep the water.
fantastic food. They have a terrible government. How about this, if the state did away with the lottery also?
I don't
Well,
think
then
that's not going to happen.
Then your taxes would go up.
Getting hot apple pie at Topsfield Fair is incredible.
Too sweet.
The best apples to use for apple pie are Granny Smith.
Yes, I
Granny
agree.
Smith.
You want a tart
Thank you.
apple
Cortland's are good,
because
too.
they're, I've never used Cortland's, or at least not in recent history. I always buy the Granny Smiths because they will hold up. So you have apples that if you cook them, they're good for applesauce because they immediately break down. You have soft apples. So you never use a Macintosh apple
No.
for a pie. You wouldn't use a Golden Delicious either, or a yellow Golden Delicious either, because they will also break down even though I like them. They're very sweet. So if you're going to use a sweeter apple, you have to use less sugar, because other than that, I don't know if you could eat it.
Your teeth would rot out.
Yeah, well, sometimes people say it's not, doesn't have to do with that. Because I've eaten a lot of sweets and chocolates in the past, and I don't have a problem with my teeth. I'm trying to see what it is to, well, there's the other stuff in terms of the National Guard going into Chicago and everything. And I am of the opinion that if they just turn over whatever the illegal aliens are that they have in their jails, instead of turning them loose in the cities, you wouldn't have the situation that you currently have with ICE trying to find them. They'd probably leave. If you didn't have the sanctuary city issue, you probably wouldn't have them pretty much taking up space in Massachusetts
I want some sharp
either.
lawyer to explain to me why sanctuary cities are legal.
I think that they basically declared they're not.
They're not, but I want some lawyer to counter that and give me the argument that says.
It's a real rough patch, Sam. It's like if the state police decided to give out tickets today on the highway, people would be complaining. Why are you enforcing the law today? When do you turn your heat on, Sam?
Not yet.
Not yet. What?
When it's cold.
Snow? It's got to snow, or is there any indicator?
When the inside temperature consistently is below 68, then I will turn on the heat. But my house is fairly well insulated, so it holds the heat pretty well. So usually end of September, early October, the heat goes on, yeah.
Evelyn, how about you? When do you turn your heat on?
When it gets cold.
Yeah.
That's a silly answer.
My
sometimes-
mother-in-law was ridiculous.
I know what you're asking.
Yeah.
So in answer to the question, to be specific, if it's really cold in October, Glenn turns it on, I don't. But by November 1st, usually the heat is on. However,
So all of October. Yeah, one of my colleagues, Dickie
I
Demers,
can't
he
do
does not
that.
turn his heat. He doesn't care how cold it gets. November 1st, he turns the heat.
That
on.
was
yeah,
my
you-
mother-in-law, same thing. You could be
November 1st.
20 degrees on October 15th.
He
and
came in with his icicles on his nose.
Yeah.
He's so happy to come to work because the heat's on.
Good for him.
well, my parents.
How about you, Vivian? When do you turn your heat on? If Vivian's sitting in the far,
So it doesn't matter.
it's what?
And we heat by wood stove.
So when do you light it?
So, usually middle of October, beginning of
Yeah.
November.
Okay.
Yeah, it just depends on what the temperature is outside.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple of days where, it was funny, we were up in New Hampshire, and Glenn said something about it being cold. I said, put a sweater on. We're not turning the heat on yet, because it was 45 degrees.
My in-laws like that, November 1st, at work.
But my parents kept their heat at 70 year-round. My father never touched it. He just left it on.
You know,
So it was always 70, and he was always cold. But I mean, the older that you get, sometimes,
Yeah.
I'm going in the other direction, because it's almost like I got a nice
Has
layer
the
of that.
baked goody lady ever thought about doing a program on TV and sharing her recipes?
No.
We could do that. I could do that. I could have you on.
Well, I'll tell you,
we'll do
there's a woman
cooking.
here, her name is Karen Casella. She's a Register of Deeds. Ellen thinks she should open a bake shop. Oh, my God. The bakery goods that she brings in here are freaking incredible. Oh, my God. She brought in this little chocolate thing last week, or the other, I think Monday or Tuesday.
You want something chocolate?
Delicious.
I'll bring something chocolate.
No, Ev, I'm just telling you. Last time was like lemon cookies and good stuff.
It's 7 o'clock.
Oh, we blew right through the break. So I got to put this up, so we're going to play some music, Going to sit Vivian down, we'll put the
Right,
music on.
and Facebook is still running,
I'm
so
gonna get
we're
some
going to be
coffee.
careful what we
We'll
say
be
and
back.
do.
Everyone might swear. Turn on Facebook. The president ordered all flags be lowered to half staff.
I have a friend of mine who can imitate a Danish accent.
So you see a lot of the flags half-mast today.
I have a friend of mine who can imitate a Danish accent. She does that.
Just a friendly reminder about tonight's memorial for 9/11 out in Tewksbury. It's 7 p.m. at the 9/11 site. Beautiful site they have out there on Main Street at Chandler. 7 o'clock, very moving ceremony. Hope to see you out there.
Welcome back to City Life. I'm Evelyn Thoren. I am your host for the next approximate 56 minutes. And Sam Chase is with us. We have Vivian Merrill as a guest. Welcome, Vivian.
Hello.
If you're just joining us, Bob Hoey's not with us yet. Bob Hoey is home and recovering and probably doing a lot of physical therapy. We hope he will be able to join us at some point because we do miss him. And as I had said in the first hour, I have a cousin that's in Dallas, Texas, and who's in the hospital having some back surgery. And when I was talking to him last night, he said, well, I do watch you on occasion on Facebook. And I thought, okay,
There you go.
Dallas, Texas.
The Dallas market.
Yep, so we were talking about
Get them where you can.
different kinds of
Right.
things. He was joking about the fact that he likes baseball. Dallas happens to be in the same division as the Red Sox, and he says, watch out, we're coming to get you. I thought, okay, that's fine. And I told him I would share some stories with him.
Has he ever been to Fenway Park?
I'm sure he has. He's been
Okay.
here. He grew up in
okay.
Florida, and then I think he was in the Iraq War. So he is a veteran. He's younger than we are, and a second cousin.
Everybody's younger than I am.
Well, yeah, in this room, but not everybody is younger than you. My mother is not younger than you.
No, she's not. But she's not in the room, so there you go.
That's true.
Hey, I look dynamite for 659. I don't care what you say.
So I think my cousin just turned 60.
Oh, a kid.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see how it seems as though currently, I mean, getting up after surgery, he felt pretty good because he couldn't walk at all.
From the audience, he just sent this video in, that there was a guy spotted on the
Oh, look at that.
Yes, my sister asked about this morning.
and you'll see him just propped up there.
Well, that doesn't look good.
No, and somebody should have called.
Nobody looks up. Unless you're SWAT.
Right there,
Then-
it's
There the
Oh,
person
wow.
is.
a terrible day. The scammers all over the place, I hope they get the guy.
So, yeah,
Sad day.
if they don't get the guy, then that's just going to fuel all the conspiracy crackpots out there. So I hope they catch the
Well,
guy
the person
soon.
was, the person, we talked about this in the first hour. The person probably was a professional because when you have one bullet from 200 plus yards away.
Yeah, that's pretty good
And you
shooting.
can hit the target.
Yeah.
Pretty much close to where you want to be. And, a lot of people think that there was a hit. The person was dressed in black for the people that did see whoever was up there. So the person that was dressed in black probably took it all off, had a backpack, stuffed it all in the backpack. The possibility is whatever rifle he had could have been broken down and stuffed in the back of the backpack also to walk out with all the rest of the students.
Because they didn't have security. The people weren't screened coming into that event. That's what they said on the
Well,
news
they also
this
said
morning.
he had less security, and then that, I don't know how true these are, that a lot of people were told to stay away. So there was something that was going on, that some people may have known in advance.
Looked like a pretty good crowd, though.
They said there was like 2,000 people there.
Yeah.
And you had people that were kind of like cheering about the fact that he was dead. That is very bad. Their
But
mental
that always
state should be
happens with any,
questionable.
I'm not excusing it, obviously, but that always happens with any, when they took the shot at Trump, people were upset that he wasn't killed. So you're always going to get that, right? And,
Yeah, well, when Kennedy
Yeah.
was assassinated, there were people that.
oh, absolutely.
Thorne put this out,
Yes.
that's cute. Nice
Yeah.
shot, Flip.
And my sister and I had a conversation on the way in this morning. She's in Florida. And
And you called her at 5 in the morning?
well, she gets up with her dog. So she's an early riser. She goes to bed very early, earlier than I do. And she gets up very early. And it's just the way, my father used to do that. He'd get up at between 4 and 5 in the morning, but he was in bed before 9:30.
But that's
We have
common.
dogs, but I'm not ready to talk to people. And not at
She's
3 in
not
the
really,
morning.
she's only
You talk to
talking
the
to me.
You talk to the dogs?
Yeah, you talk to the dog?
Pretty
Yeah.
much, that's it.
Well, you're right by the bike path too. She's not like in that particular area.
They used to have a rooster.
Long time ago,
I would
yeah,
ride
we
on
had
that bike
several.
path and
We had
I'd
several
hear
over the
that,
years.
I'd hear the rooster and I'd say, oh boy, the Merrills got their rooster out cranking out there. That's good.
Oh, we had a few of them. They
Yeah.
were characters.
So one of the conversations we had, which I'll just throw this out in case people have just joined us and didn't hear the first hour. I'm not saying that Charlie Kirk is Jesus Christ. However, when they tried to get rid of Christ, they thought that they were getting rid of a whole situation, and all that happened was, well, first of all, it was prophecy, but all that happened was that you created an unbelievable movement, and that's what's going to happen here. Because just like with Pearl Harbor, when they did that, the thing was you've awakened a sleeping giant. Well, now you have the call for people who have more moderate to conservative views to stand up and be counted, rather than allowing the liberal everything to run everything. I also, likened, and I told Sam I'm going to get in trouble for this one, that in Nazi Germany, what they did was they took the youth and they taught them different things, and they brought them up their way and everything along those lines. One of the reasons to get rid of Charlie Kirk was he was influencing a lot of young people, and they wanted to get rid of him. I'm not saying he was into Nazi propaganda type of thing, but the reason they want to get rid of him is because he was screwing up what they were doing in colleges and in high schools and things in terms of what the liberals are trying to incorporate and modify history and things. I'm not saying it's all in every state or anything, but this is what I've seen. And I was on a school committee and watched the progression of it in other states and also in curriculums. So it's very interesting, and so we'll see what actually comes out of this one.
What's gonna happen with RDT getting fired?
Well, we talked about that,
We did-
and we talked about him
So,
being
so
canned.
are you a Market Basket person?
I am.
Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Are you going to boycott
Absolutely
it?
nothing different.
You're gonna still go to Market Basket? Yeah, that's my
Because
wife.
nothing, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, why cut the hours of people that are working there and things like that? It's not gonna change anything, decisions have been made, and
Now, Vivian,
Mm-hmm.
have you noticed any decline in quality of the Market Basket
I
items?
can't say I have, no.
We've,
Noticed arguments amongst the staff on the floor of the sales floor.
oh, really? What are they arguing about?
At the meat, the deli where you get your meat cut,
Yep,
people fight with one another over there.
Really?
the staff
Over
does.
what? What are they fighting over?
Who should be doing what?
Oh,
I
that's not-
I saw that up in Rochester.
That's not good.
I wanted to get fish. There was only like 2 people on. The guy that was slicing the meat, there weren't that many people there. Slicing the meat is looking around because he saw me standing there to see where he could find somebody to wait on me. And then he realized he couldn't, so he wasn't really saying anything. But I noticed that for one of the first times, because usually there's plenty of people around. And we'll see whether or not Market Basket makes the same mistake that Cracker Barrel did.
Yeah.
In terms of quality and higher prices, and maybe they'll start, get rid of people.
I hope-
That was a good analogy right there.
And I hope not, but I will say this, over the last 6 weeks or so, I've had trouble with their 1% milk. You can't get more than 4 days out of it, and it goes bad. And then I was told that other people, I didn't see it on Facebook, but other folks have told me that they've seen on Facebook people talking about the milk at Demoulas, or excuse me, Market, I will say Demoulas till the, hey,
It's
my
okay,
father
we all know
called the
what you mean.
refrigerator an icebox till the day he died, right? I mean, it's just an age thing. So, Market Basket, so
That's a cute question.
You know,
Question
that,
should
I
be,
like
where's
that.
RDD gonna shop?
That, boy, somebody's on the ball with that. I'm impressed with that comment. What's RDD gonna shop?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Amazon.
Amazon. Amazon.
And Amazon is.
Whole Foods.
That's what
Yeah, I
all
was
you-
gonna say,
Yeah,
Whole Foods is
Whole
on
Foods.
Amazon. What I try to do is shop whatever the sales are.
That's funny.
Same.
That's what I do. I've always done that from the time I got my license at 16. And then they put me in charge of doing groceries. And I would just make the list and I would go buy whatever it was that we needed. And- Because when you're in a city, you're close to markets, supermarkets or small markets or whatever it is, individual markets. So you're able to go to all of the different places, within 10 minutes. It's not the same in Chelmsford.
I grew up in the 1950s, and back then, the smaller markets would deliver food to your house. So I can still remember my mother picking up the phone and calling Anderson's Market. I want 2 loaves of bread, I want this, I want that, and an hour
didn't
later.
charge you extra?
No,
You
and
didn't
it
have to
didn't.
tip 'em?
Nope, and an hour later, they showed up.
There you go.
Yeah, so they
You know,
thought it
that
was
was
a
their
big deal
job.
Right.
during COVID when they had delivery of groceries
Mm-hmm.
and a variety of other things that's out there for delivery, so that you never have to leave your house.
Nope.
And when you
And
never
they
have to
say
leave.
we've advanced, right?
Right, well, and then they,
That's how I bought a 15-year-old truck with 28,000 miles on it. The guy
did?
never went anywhere.
well, we have a
Did they deliver it to you?
1983
They
Malibu
delivered it to him.
that has under 60,000 miles on it, if somebody would like to purchase that one. I mean, we've got that. I want to get rid of it. I mean, we have enough vehicles. Trying to figure out how to get rid of my van. I don't want to donate it. I had somebody that said that they would take it because certain people could drive it. don't want to do that. I just want to, do something where I don't know who it is I'm giving it to, in case there's an issue, and then I get called on the carpet for whatever it is, because I wouldn't really be selling it to whoever, the people that said they'd take it. It's, anyway.
And you don't want to
we
sell
won't
it.
publicize
Start the
that.
lemon
And you
law.
don't, want to sell it to anyone local, because you'd rather.
It's a 17-year-old vehicle. It
you'd
has
ra-
200 and, what did I
Yeah.
say, 267,000 miles on it.
That's okay.
The engine is beautiful.
I had an Explorer like that.
Yeah. I mean, I would have kept driving, except Glenn made some comment, and I said, all right, we'll buy a new vehicle. In 2 days, I had a new vehicle.
Oh, he just wanted a new car.
Absolutely. Yeah, he was tired of me driving
I
that
know
car.
him.
Yeah, he wanted something a little more prestigious and red. So it's all electric. I'm not overly thrilled. I'm still trying to figure out how to do certain things on it.
Like
And I-
start it?
Oh, no, I know how to start it. And then I have to, but it has the thing where when you put your foot on the brake, if you put it on to come to a stop, if you really come to a stop, then it shuts itself off.
I hate
So it has an override.
Oh,
So
I hate
I
that.
get in the car and start
Yeah, you hear
start the
them.
engine, hit the override button, and then I'm good to go.
Oh, I hate
And the
Oh,
last.
now let me ask you a question about that. So are you saying that you start the car, once the car is started, if you hit the override, it stays off as long as the car is on? Is it-
Yes.
Oh, so you don't have to hit it each time?
No.
Because in some cars, you have to hit it each time.
No.
All right, that's good. Okay, I could live with.
Yeah, now the other
I
thing.
could live with that, yes.
But
all right.
personally, I like to be in control of everything. I never liked it when you could, set your speed. I need to be in control of stuff because I don't want to get sidetracked and not know that I'm driving a car.
Then
This
you'd like my 1965 Dodge Dart?
Well, I talked to one of my friends yesterday. He bought himself a Tesla. He loves the Tesla. But he also has a beautiful pickup truck. And he said, John, I says, do you get in the pickup truck and try to drive it like a Tesla? You hit different. And he says, no, but I did park the truck the other day, didn't put it in park. I opened the door and I get out, the car was still in drive. In a Tesla, as soon as you open the door, the car goes to park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just walk away.
Well, the other thing is if you shut the vehicle off, this will go to park if you're in drive or
The
reverse.
vehicle, the Tesla doesn't shut off, it's always on.
Well, anyway, I think
That's crazy.
it's a very interesting thing. The lights come on automatically, the high beams will come on automatically and go off. Glenn's Tahoe, if it rains, the windshield wipers will go on automatically if there's any water on the windshield.
I can't stand it.
To me, the more that you have that's electronic,
shifting gears,
the more that can
okay?
go wrong.
I hear you.
All right.
I hear you. I agree with you. Yeah, yeah, that's a little too much.
Yes, it would have been funny for me. I'm not that old, but one of the things that concerns me with any of these vehicles is what is built into that computer. In the 2008 Honda Odyssey that I have, apparently what was built into the electronics that was in that is that the clock and the date that is on the display, the small display, stopped working in 10 years later or whatever it was, like in 2015 or 2020 or whatever it was, it stopped working because it was built in that it would stop working at that point in time.
It had its own apocalypse. Cool.
Just in case anybody wanted to know. So today is 9/11. I think everybody remembers that. So Vivian, what were you doing on 9/11 in 2001?
24 years ago.
Yeah, I was actually driving in front of my building at work, getting ready to park when the announcement started.
Same place you work today?
Yep,
No kidding. So how long have you been there?
since 1999.
Wow, good for you.
Longevity. I had got up to have a cup of coffee, and my oldest son called me from work and asked me if I was watching the television. So I turned the TV on, and I said, well, I won't tell you what I said, and and he made a comment, and I said, that's not true. I said, you watch, it'll collapse. Well, no, they built it to withstand fire. I said, yeah, fire, but not a direct hit with an airplane. I
Yeah,
said,
that was tough.
the amount of jet fuel and the heat that's there will melt all of those girders, and they'll just, for pancake, and they'll just come down. And so then he calls me back after it went down. Ma, you were right. Yes, your mother's right many times. And I didn't really want to be right in this case. And then, of course, then you had the other one. And it was traumatic, I think, because of his age bracket.
Favorite time of the show? Favorite part of the show?
Yep.
Only have 2 announcements today, Ev.
Oh, good, thank you. Let's see how
And,
fast you can get through them.
This is a, police join, Rodney Elliott sent me this, thank you, Rodney. And this is for some politician, they're having a fundraiser over Cavalieros, you're not gonna find it better. If you want a great steak dinner, Cavalieros is, there's nobody better than Cavalieros, oh my God, great dinner. But anyway, please join
Yeah, they are.
Representative Rodney Elliott, and Tara Hung, and the Cowardly Lion, Van Howard, at a fundraising reception honoring Aaron Michilowicz, state representative. He's to chair a House Committee in Ways and Means on Thursday, October 2nd, 5 to 7 p.m. at Cavalieros Steakhouse, 573 Lawrence Street in lovely Lowell. Suggested contributions, $1,000 down to $125. Contribute online. You can take your fancy phone out of your pocket, take a picture of this slide, and you can send a donation off to this guy.
And I agree with your comment on Cavalieros, by the way. Fantastic restaurant, fantastic.
Delicious spot.
Yep,
And then
absolutely.
tonight, the nice moving ceremony that Mark Kratman makes sure, Tewksbury Selectman Mark Kratman makes sure it's happened. The Tewksbury 9/11 Memorial Ceremony is 7 o'clock tonight at the 9/11 Memorial they have in Tewksbury. It's a very moving event. And 7 o'clock, it's at the corner of Chandler and Main Street on Route 38. And very moving. There's plenty of parking in the library parking lot, and very moving ceremony. Going back over to Evelyn. Oh, I got to talk about Ned's wake, too. I'll get that up in a second.
I believe
back
we have
to
a
you.
9/11 ceremony this morning
Okay.
at the Central Fire Headquarters in Chelmsford and Town Hall.
Oh, nice.
Not sure when it starts.
Lowell probably has something, too, but I'm not aware of it.
Yeah,
So.
well, I'm sure they do.
Feel free to text in if you have a 9/11 ceremony you want to put out there. Thanks.
So, what's new?
What's new?
You wear a variety of hats, so.
I
we
like
can-
her insurance hat.
I was just gonna say.
I know he does.
We can start with, let's start with insurance.
Oh,
So
we
how
can't
are
start with
things?
dog park?
We can, go ahead.
Oh,
Start
yeah,
with dog park.
let's
Do
talk
dog
about the
park?
Wherever
dog
you
park.
wanna go.
How's the dog park doing?
Dog park's okay. They got a whole bunch of new trees, which we talked about the last time. On October 18th, they're doing their annual Halloween celebration, where you can dress up and you can dress up your dogs, and they have a lot more vendors this year, and they'll do, I believe they're doing some food, and they'll have games for the kids and stuff like that. It's probably the only time we let kids in there freely, because if you're under 6, you're not allowed in there at all. And if you're
Really?
6 to 12, you better be with your parent, and everybody better be watching what you do, because dogs are running around and they will run you over. So,
That makes sense.
yeah, and so that's a good fun thing.
Any
to
problems
have.
with the park, like people not picking up their dog poop? Or
That's
is
constant.
Everybody good?
That's just an accepted part of life. You get that ghost poop that you just cannot find.
Ghost.
You walk over there and you cannot find it.
Ghost
But let me tell you, in 10 minutes,
I'll
somebody
tell
will
ya.
find it and they'll be cussing
Down
somebody out
Happy
about
Hampton,
it.
down Happy Hampton, people are walking with a dog, and they will scream at somebody who doesn't pick up their dog.
Let me ask.
They scream at them down Happy Hampton.
Let me ask you this, because, correct me, because my memory might be wrong on this. But when I was a kid, back, as John would say, in the Stone Age, growing up in the 50s, first of-
Did they have,
First of all,
did they
first of
have
all, there-
domestic dogs?
First of all, there were no leash laws.
Right.
Dogs
It's
just
true.
roamed.
They
That's
did.
right.
Okay, there were
Yep.
no leash laws. And secondly, the thought of anybody picking up their dog's poop, forget it.
I know.
Am I wrong?
wasn't a thing.
Am I remembering this
I mean,
correctly?
Carlisle is still, does not have a leash law.
Really? I did
Yeah.
not know that.
That's where you get in trouble with the cranberry bog, because when these dogs run around in Chelmsford.
Well, now that explains.
Technically,
that- Okay.
they're breaking the law in Chelmsford, but they're not in Carlisle.
Because I walked the Cranberry Bog in Carlisle a lot, okay? And that explains why the dogs are not on the leash.
They don't
And
have to be.
Okay, and I never thought to ask, so thank you for that information.
Anytime.
They don't have a leash law. So, but they certainly, leash laws did not exist.
No.
In-
Neither did spaying and neutering. So you had all kinds of unwanted puppies.
That's true, but I don't remember anybody picking up after their dogs. It just wasn't
Mm-hmm.
done. If a dog came into your yard and pooped, it's tough luck. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
you
It's
picked
like
it up.
the bear.
Right, so that's something that's new within the last 40 or 50 years, I would say, the
Mm-hmm.
concept that you need to, and you watch people now walking their dogs, and they're holding the bags, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, most people, I think, are pretty good about that.
As long as you could find it. I mean, I was
Yeah.
at my campground
You're
over
supposed
the
to be paying
weekend,
attention.
and I picked up 4 or 5 different presents that either people didn't want to deal with, or it was nighttime and they couldn't find it, or whatever.
And I just learned, my brother had dogs, and my brother just passed away a few months ago.
I'm sorry.
And, thank you, and I did not know, I mean, I've learned a few things because of that. There are companies out there that will come and pick up your dog poop.
Yes, they will.
And I did not know that, my brother,
Sam,
yeah,
Important part of the show.
go ahead.
We talked about this earlier.
What do we have today?
One of my other concoctions, it's got sweet potato, bananas, craisins,
Almond flour.
almond flour,
Do you call it anything?
no.
Bread?
Yeah.
Evelyn's
Yeah, tea bread.
Evelyn's refrigerator clean out, that's what
Well,
we call
no,
it.
it really wasn't, because the
Okay.
the
That's you,
zucchini,
Sam, thank
the zucchini was fresh.
Okay.
So, and that, so
that's
I
all
wasn't really
right. But
cleaning
you-
anything out. I put things aside for that particular thing, and then it has a cinnamon glaze on the top.
So, just to finish the thought, so there are companies, and my brother had hired this company, and I found that out by going through his paperwork. They come out twice a week. And
Clean up your yard.
And clean up your yard, and it wasn't that expensive. That was the other thing. I'm looking at the invoices, I'm saying, it's not that much money,
It's a brilliant strategy.
you know, and, yeah, so.
It's crazy,
Somebody's
Todd.
gotta do
It's
it.
like landscapers befuddle me. There's a whole industry built around landscaping. Nobody wants to mow their lawn anymore.
Nobody did that when I
I'm-
was a
I'm in-
kid.
Yeah.
Well, they
Nobody,
don't want to blow
I
leaves
still,
either.
yeah, I still
No,
do my
but
own yard work, but
the
I'm in the
own-
minority.
the only people who had quote-unquote landscapers, again, back in the 50s, and they weren't called, they were called gardeners,
Yeah.
were the very, very rich people. We had, in my town, there were maybe 10 families
Yeah.
that had somebody come in and cut their grass. Everybody mowed their own
Yeah.
grass.
Well, when you go
Everybody
out
did.
to,
It's
when you
like-
go out to LA, you got your illegal immigrants, and they're like, well, who's going to watch our kids, and who's going to mow our lawn, and
Do it yourself.
who's going to do our housework? And I'm like, talk about elites. It's like, really? I mean, I don't want anybody doing my stuff like that, because I have.
I mean,
no-
I will never understand people who hire people to pick a color for your living room walls. I don't understand that concept.
You mean
It's like, I
professional
interior
need an
decorator.
interior
design?
designer to pick a color for my wall. I'm like,
You don't know what
You can't
colors
make a
you
decision.
what
like?
do you like? Go with it.
That's the way it used to be. And then they don't paint.
I don't get
They
it.
hire somebody to paint it.
Yes,
I do my own
floors
painting.
me.
I
But
like to do my own painting.
we old.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's,
But one of my sons did hire someone to paint. He didn't want me painting.
well, it depends on how much you
And part
have
of the
to do.
reason he did was because he wanted to give work to the person that he hired, I
Yeah,
think.
I've done that a couple
I mean, they
times.
were a professional painter, but I'm not going to say too much, because I don't know who's listening on the program, but he wanted to give them business. Sometimes local individuals, I want to give business to, and I'm beginning to get older enough, I can't do some of the work. So in New Hampshire, we have hired a landscaper, but they're putting in block walls. They're not mowing the lawn. They're not blowing
You
the
don't have any
leaves.
lawn up there.
Well, we did. We did have lawn. We're gonna have some lawn. It won't be enough to have like the ride-on lawnmower. But because we have so many trees, we have a ride-on lawnmower up there, and it picks up all the leaves. It's better than leaf blowing. And then I can put them in my compost pile that I have, so there's a lot of stuff that we do. Anyway, all right, so dog parks, we went through the dog park. Now, you're on conservation, taking minutes. Anything going on there?
Nothing major. They are more actively involved in the land management on their own reservations these days, so.
They're working a little bit with the planning board too, aren't they, on some things?
They have
My
been,
son just made a yummy son.
I could talk about food all day long. We're not going to do that right now, though.
yep. So, nothing major. I mean, they have been trying to coordinate with the planning board more. They have liaisons that make reports at every meeting and things like that. So, they'd like to work, I think, a little bit closer with the Board of Health, just to.
Yes, that makes sense.
Just to work on stormwater
Right.
and water pollution and things like that. So they're trucking along. A lot of the other meetings I just haven't made. I didn't make Historic District last week. Permanent building
this
has
week.
gone on the same schedule as conservation, so that's been
I'm going to
rough.
try to get them off that. I didn't go to that meeting either because I had a colonoscopy, and the process is different than it used to be, and so basically I didn't sleep
Oh, yeah.
because of what how they had
They don't
everything.
knock you out anymore?
Pardon me?
They don't knock you out?
Yes, they did, but I'm saying I didn't sleep
The
the night
preparation.
before because with the way they
Right.
had a pill preparation versus the liquid, and I have
What preparation?
Pill.
pills.
Oh, that's different.
Yes, but it's in two sections, and when you do the second one, you're supposed to take the time that you have your procedure and go back 7.5 hours. Well, I didn't realize that because I'd never done that before. I always wanted the earliest appointment, so I had an early appointment. Well, I also had to start taking pills at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh,
So you
no.
take something at 1 a.m., and then you take something at 1:30, and then at 2 o'clock, or 2:30, for 30 minutes you drink water, and then from 3 o'clock to 3:30, then you drink water, and blah, 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 and it was like, I think I had 3 hours of sleep. I need a little bit more than that, but it's different when you're on your own schedule versus somebody else's schedule, and this was somebody else's schedule. So we'll see how everything turns out. No pun intended. All right, so on the Permanent Building Committee, I know that they're discussing the 2 fire stations in Chelmsford.
As opposed to the temporary building committee, right?
Well, they
That's
create,
my house.
Yeah. I've seen your house.
there you go. Anyway, the town manager
That's it.
created the Permanent Building Committee to oversee all major projects in town rather than having all kinds of separate, different
And that's a
committees and everything.
relatively new thing. I mean, we didn't have
Yes.
that 20 years ago.
No. And so there's consistency within the committee, so that.
And for really big projects, like the Parker School Building Committee, they will do one-offs.
They will do what?
One-offs, because that committee is just for Parker School.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
but many times, because of the way that the school building assistant programs works, you have to have the separate committee, because you have to have representation
But then
from
at some point,
everybody.
don't they turn it over to the permanent building committee? They bring it up so
No, it's still
far.
oversight, there's a certain
okay.
amount of
So they
oversight.
still keep the committee in place?
To a certain extent,
All right.
yes. Now, when they did the portable classrooms, there wasn't a separate committee for that.
No.
Within the school system. So Permanent Building Committee oversaw that. And the DPW
I was going to say, a lot
has,
of, yeah, they did
yes,
a lot of that.
has
too.
a lot
Yeah.
of input with regard to that. What we're trying to do with the 2 fire stations, that's Station 3 and 5. 5 is in South Chelmsford on Route 27, and 3 is on, what, Westford Street?
Yes.
Up by Roberts Field. What they're trying to do is have something that's going to fit into the neighborhood. I
That's
think
tough on Acton Road.
Well, not necessarily. You have a lot of old houses on Acton Road, so
But
we made some.
the land is limited there.
It's
Well,
very small.
yes.
Yeah, so you
So they
have
gotta go up.
You have to do 2 stories.
And there's a lot of interaction with the abutters, which is very nice that they did that. I didn't go Tuesday night, but the month before I did go, and there was public input, and, they've been working with the neighbors, and it was very amenable.
Who's the chair of that committee, building committee?
Tim Powderly.
Powderly,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And Pat Maloney is the select
And I
board
think we have
rep?
a vacancy on that committee. If anybody wants, in Chelmsford, that wants to be on that committee, you can let the town manager know. but I'm not 100% sure of that. But anyway, so we're looking at that, and we're trying to have whatever it is kind of look, it's not going to look like an old house. There's no way they're going to do that because it's too much glass. But it's very nice the way that the architect has designed these buildings. So some of the parts, I made some suggestions, other people made suggestions, we'll see where it goes in
Now,
terms of
let me
color.
ask you this. I mean, I've watched a couple of those meetings, and the impression I get is that they may already be exceeding the $25 million. I mean, because they're already talking about value engineering, which is just a fancy way of saying cutting cost, okay? So when you get to the point where you're saying the project is to the point where you're saying, well, let's do some value engineering, that tells me that you're in jeopardy of going over budget. Is that true or not?
I haven't been told that.
Okay, but
I don't know if that's true or not, but I understand what you're saying.
They
But
are
one of the
talking
things,
about value engineering,
Right, but
which
in
to me is
value
that's a red flag.
well, my understanding was that they're trying to do similar things in both locations so that you have economy of scale, so that you also can order all the same materials and things aren't
Well,
different.
that's-
So the
but
more that
that's
you
not-
order, the cheaper it
that's-
gets.
That's not value engineering.
Okay, so well, anyway, I know they're trying to do that in order to cut some
Right,
costs.
And that makes perfect sense.
Right, and
If
then
you're
we'll see
doing
what else they're
project-
doing.
If you're doing the building at the same time.
Nothing's getting cheaper. That's for sure.
I won't even tell you what I paid for a 1 by
Oh, yeah, you
a
told me.
1 by 10 by 8-foot board the other day. I mean, I needed a little piece. I had to fix a piece of trim on my house, so I had to, when it's angled, I had to cut it and everything. And that's the smallest piece of lumber I could find.
And the squirrels will love it.
And, well, it's
No, it
composite.
won't.
No.
It's composite, so
Okay,
they won't
fair.
like that. But, I mean, I can, it's not a complete waste because there are other things that I can use the balance of the material for, but I almost fell over at the price. It's been a while since I bought lumber,
How
right?
much was it?
It was $70.
70?
$70.
No.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
said. Holy Hannah, okay. But I
We'll
said.
keep shopping at Marketplace.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I said, well, it's composite board, so I'll never have to replace this again. But, but still, it just, I thought, what does it cost to frame a house in terms of?
It's
Probably not
expensive.
using composite for all of it.
No. Well, we're putting a
simple-
deck on one of the houses.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so you
my
know.
contractor, my contractor, when he came up with the proposal, he goes, I'm going to give you a number.
And you're gonna pass out when you see it.
He was shocked because he hadn't done some of this stuff for a while. And I said, it's okay, we figured it was going to be around that. Try not to exceed it, thank you. So we'll see where that goes
Well-
because it's been delayed so much.
If it's a repair, you don't have
It's
a choice.
not a repair, it's brand new.
No, I know, but I'm saying if something has to be fixed, you don't have a choice. You gotta fix it, right? So that was my
So we
problem.
went through all the different committees. Okay, how about the Christmas one?
Oh, yeah, we got the holiday prelude. I need to schedule a meeting for September so we can start planning the actual event.
Are you the chair?
This year, yeah.
Okay.
And I want to retire after this year
I
just
don't blame
because
you.
I have a whole bunch of things I need to get done by April of next year or I won't be working. So if anybody's interested in learning how to run this event and organize this event, we highly encourage you to keep an eye out on the town website because I will be announcing a meeting. And
And you have vacancies on the committee, right?
every year.
So is
yeah.
this like the parade committee, the more the merrier?
Absolutely,
Okay, all
yeah.
right. So you could have
Yep.
potentially 20 people on your,
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, we have a lot of people that aren't officially on the committee that help out a lot.
that's
And
good.
they're perfectly happy with that.
Yep.
I think the bulk of our work is mostly coordinating all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to start talking about in September.
Takes a little time.
Yeah,
people
Yeah.
have no idea.
and yeah, it is the more the merrier. And
Mm.
like I said, we get a lot of help from people that are not on the committee. They're not looking for the recognition. They just want to be part of having a
Right.
good time, which is fantastic.
Well,
So
people,
we'll get back to you.
it's just amazing the extent of the activities in town that are run by volunteers, people
Mm-hmm.
who do not get paid.
Of course, it's gonna go over, everything is more expensive. Good point. Vivian, before we get to the show here, yesterday, earlier in the week, oh, my mic on so people can hear. Earlier in the week, there were tornadoes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, out in Holden. Yeah,
Stowe had a
Putting your
touchdown.
insurance hat on,
yeah.
That would have been next.
knowing that insurance companies will wiggle out of a claim, what kind of coverage would you suggest that one have?
I mean, for regular homeowners, wind and hail is covered anyway. You might have a higher deductible than you do for other things. I notice that happening with a lot of companies, but the coverage is there on your basic policy.
Now, if
Wind
it-
and hail.
If,
Yeah.
Okay.
if a dead tree falls on your house,
Yeah,
are you covered?
if it's dead, yes. If it's healthy, no.
If it's a healthy tree,
Yeah,
you're
because
not,
it's considered an act of God. The dead tree, you got some liability concerns because there's going to be like, if it's your neighbor's tree, you could go through your neighbor's property damage coverage because it's kind of like negligence on their part. If most dead trees, you can kind of tell they're dying, so,
so when I see these, new certifieds covering the house, the tree fell on the house, they're not,
there's a
no-
lot of carriers going crazy with that because if
There's no
there's any
insurance?
part of that tree overhanging your roof, they want you trimming it at a minimum.
Yes.
So we
So,
had,
no, zero it in on the question. Healthy tree falls and crushes your house. No coverage?
No, well, up to a certain limit.
Okay, you just
Yeah,
answered
it's like
a double answer there,
$500 or
kiddo.
something.
Can you
yeah.
buy coverage for that?
Not really,
Extra?
no.
Okay, so that's not even available.
No.
All right,
Some
so-
carriers have little endorsements that will give you a little more coverage. It all depends on
so
the
they
carrier.
have changed.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these carriers have their own bells and whistles that they add to their policies.
So we have no trees that overhang
Well, I'm
my
talking about the
house.
general.
I'm gonna-
It's my
and I am
question,
too.
kiddo. She is the expert. That's why I'm asking.
I understand
her.
that. So I want clarification. Can
Evelyn
you
wants
read
to-
what's in my
Evelyn
mind?
wants to take over the question. Go ahead, Ev.
Well, I'm not taking over the question, I'm
Yes, you
adding
are.
to.
Go ahead.
So if you have live trees and they're not overhanging your house, you've taken care of the trees. You have a snowstorm or an ice storm or a hurricane. It's a wind event and it
That's
falls on your
different.
house.
Right, if it's a wind event, then you're gonna get coverage for your house.
All right, so that's the difference, John. The
Yeah.
difference is if it's arbitrarily out of no, anything in sight, the
No
tree
force
falls.
of nature makes it fall. It
Right. It just falls
For
over.
some reason, right.
Okay, I mean, it could be the drought and all kinds of
Whatever.
stuff and then
All
it
right,
rains.
it falls.
So if it falls, John, there's no coverage. But under the scenario that you asked the question, like with the tornado thing, that's a wind event. And any of those trees that fell on the house as a result of the wind event is covered.
The house will be
good to know.
covered, the removal of the tree is gonna be covered for much less. Usually it's only $500,
Yeah, which is not enough.
which is not enough.
No, so,
There's nothing you can
because
do
it cost
about
us $1,000 to remove the tree that fell on my house. In 1998, we had the first Saturday in December, we had a terrific snowstorm. I mean, it put out power.
Yep.
The transformers were blue, green, purple, all kinds of stuff exploding everywhere. And we had a huge pine tree, it must have been about 3 feet thick in the front yard. One of the branches came down on the roof. Now, I fixed the roof, sort of, on a temporary basis, because Glenn wasn't there. But we did get significant money because it was a combination of things.
I'm putting this up for somebody in the audience. His name's Paul. He's unable to text, so he left me a voicemail, and I'm just reading the voicemail now, and it says he'd like to know the election results from yesterday. So real quick, I'll review this stuff, and in Belvedere, Belinda Duran was the big winner. She got 453 votes. Coming in second was Dan Finn, and that's Belvedere. Coming out, not in the race anymore, is Corey Belanger and Aaron Jedrick.
So explain that for the audience and me, and use that as an example, what you just did. So that means that Duran and Finn are going to be in the final race. And
Correct.
Belanger
But
and Gendron are
I
out.
found out yesterday,
Okay, I got it.
because of the 300, less than 500 votes, you're going to be a city councilor? I don't think so.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
so
that-
I find
that
out
was
yesterday, Sam, much to my surprise, you don't have to have any signatures to run as a write-in.
No,
You just have to tell the election office, I'm officially running as a write-in.
Correct, that's right.
And they can just write Sam.
That's it.
They don't have to write Sam Chase, they can
That's exactly right.
just write Sam. It's the intention of
Yep.
the voter.
That is absolutely
So-
correct.
If I were some of these people who have the guts to run, and thank you for having the guts to run, I would run as a write-in.
If you're on, you know what? If it's a low turnout like this, that's a good
But
strategy.
look at the acre.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly, okay?
That's a good strategy.
Sidney Lang, he got 148 votes. And Paul Rathiem, a sitting city councilor, got 105.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Jose Cervantes, he's coming tomorrow, got 84. Give me, the acre had 100 people vote.
That's like
Crazy
that's
low
like
stuff.
Meeting
Yeah.
rep tallies, okay?
And then lastly, up in the higher ones, we had Candido, I forget the kiddo's first name, sorry, but Mr. Candido, he won, 272. The sitting city councilor, Dakota, he came in 265, and coming out of the run, it was Mr. Maldonado, and that's the results from yesterday, but they had total citywide votes of 2,000 people voted yesterday in Lowell.
2,000 out
And
of,
don't they have like 1 million residents in total, something like that?
well, I think registered
There's
voters in Lowell.
30,000, I think.
Oh, it's got to be more than that, because we're almost 30,000. And Chelmsford is 27-something registered voters.
I'll go
Yeah,
look for
Lowell
that.
has to be more than that.
So when you pulled a ballot, did it say vote for two?
I didn't vote.
Well, there you go.
Well, you're
Yeah,
part of the
he-
problem.
But yesterday, we had a little party last night for my brother-in-law. He bought a place in Nevis, and so we want to know about his new place he got in Nevis, and it's off of St. Thomas. And him and his wife, Kevin and Leanne, they were saying they went to go vote, and there wasn't a soul in the parking lot.
So on the right-hand side of this screen, so all three incumbents did not
Do well.
top their
No.
race.
Correct, Amundo.
Interesting.
There
People
was no
want
school
change.
committee race because not enough people were running.
So,
And there were also, the city manager didn't order the electronic signs to get out there to vote today. So most of the community had no idea it was a day to vote.
that's another problem.
Because there was no school, a lot of people wouldn't, well, why is there no school today? Because it's voting day. So people were prompted to go and vote where they didn't. So a lot of misinformation going around. She works down at WCAP. She has a great set of legs. Misinformation. Back over to you guys.
And with that,
So Vivian, before Evelyn hogs this question, what are some common?
She's gonna slash your tires.
That's okay. That's okay.
Good idea.
Look at that puss. Honest to God, put that back up. Let's show that puss that Evelyn's got on. She's mad.
do it again.
So, what are some common misunderstandings? I think I'm covered if a hurricane's coming. I'm covered for everything. It blows the lights off my house. And what are some of the disappointments that you have to tell people who think that they're covered, but they're really not?
I would say it's a case basis. I mean, I have a claim going on right now with a gentleman who lost his power
Yeah.
because of a lightning strike. And I don't know where the disconnect is, but he thinks it's okay that he just throw out all his appliances on the front lawn, take half-ass pictures of it, and we should be okay. And then when you ask him to provide a little more information, like what exact model is that rusty old refrigerator you got out there? And it's like, well, that's not my problem. It's like, well, yeah, it is. You want money for it. And he was really mad about his deductible. And it's like, why are they taking the deductible off my electrician's bill? I had to pay that in full. It's like, because when you read your policy, when you have a
So
claim.
lightning struck his house.
Yeah.
It took his
It
electrical
fried
box.
It fried his electrical box.
Electrical box. He needs a new
When he
electrical
first
box.
filed the claim, he's like, yeah, I lost my TV, I lost my refrigerator, I lost a couple fans. Okay.
Yep.
Now it's been 2 months, there's 7 more things that he's discovered are not working. his washer, his dryer. I'm like, don't you use that on a weekly basis? He's like, no, the water out here is terrible. All I do is sheets and towels. I'm like, you still do that more than once a month, right? But,
Yeah, hopefully
I mean,
changes the sheets more often than that. Yeah.
It's just become such a convoluted situation that it's like, they did finally send an outside adjuster out to take a look at the place, and he won't let him on the property.
Then
So.
he doesn't get his claim.
Well, then he's screwed.
Exactly, and it's like,
screwed.
why
It's
can't they
unfortunate,
just
very
give me my $3,000 for the electric bill? I'm like, because it doesn't work that way. You're leaving a lot of money on the table and you shoot yourself in the foot. But it's like people just get very leery once they file the claim about letting the adjusters in to see what's actually going
Is
on.
it wise-
They consider it an invasion of privacy. And it's none of your damn business, but you want the money.
My brother-in-law is telling me that, one of my colleagues, she lives in southern New Hampshire, and they're going to drone her house. They're going to
Well,
video.
they've been doing that for years.
So tell us more about the droning of the house business.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second?
Go ahead.
All right, just to answer a
Everyone likes to
question.
barge in too now.
No, just to answer-
Oh boy, look at the pickle puss
Just,
on
I'm gonna answer a question.
I am the host.
All right. So in Lowell, there are 78,160 registered voters. Okay, so
Do they have insurance?
70, who knows? 78,000, and you said 2,000 voted?
Yeah.
And
Maybe three.
60,000 probably have insurance.
Okay, I'm sure most of them
Of
have
some
insurance.
sort, they all have
So
cars.
78,000, 2,000 people out of 78,000 potential voters
That's crazy.
voted.
Yeah.
So Vivian, a healthy tree falls on my car. My car's covered?
Do you have comprehensive coverage?
I don't know what I have.
Well, if you have comprehensive coverage, it's covered. If you don't, you're out of luck.
How would I know if I have comprehensive coverage?
Look at your policy.
Read your policy.
I'll call your friendly agent and say, do I got this? And they will usually tell you in 4.5 seconds.
Okay.
As soon as they pull you up in their computer.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Is it wise to take a walk around your house with your camera and video the
I would
outside
say
of your house?
yes, because if anything crazy happens, at least you have some kind of record, and maybe keep that record somewhere else, not in your house.
Well, when you make a video on your phone, it goes off to your little cloud thing anyway.
For most
many
people.
people.
A lot of
Some
people
people
don't
not.
have that. They have older phones
Also,
or
would
whatever.
if you video the inside of the house, good idea for inventory?
Yeah, absolutely, because when the big one hits, your brain is scrambled and you don't remember what you had, every single little thing. The closet you never go into, what do I have in there? I don't know. You just start making stuff up. And
Good
you know.
point.
And the other advice, when I read about doing the video on the inside of the house, no commentary. You might want to describe it, but don't say, oh, this is my grandmother's, and this is an antique this, and all the other stuff. You keep it very simple, because if it's your grandmother's, you probably didn't buy it.
It doesn't matter how you got it.
Well, that was the
It still
advantage.
has value.
Right,
Yeah.
but it doesn't necessarily have the value you think it has.
Very well, that's with most antiques, because a lot of
Right.
this stuff is,
Well, that's why you
It's
have,
subjective.
that's why.
yeah.
So you should say, I bought this clock from my grandmother for $2,000.
No.
No.
You shouldn't say that.
You
so-
don't even have to. I mean, it is what it is. They
So
see
should you-
what it is. They have companies out there that will figure out if another one exists.
So I
or
shouldn't
get you as
narrate the
close
video. I
as you
should not
can to
narrate.
that.
I should not narrate the video.
You
Just
don't have to.
No.
No, a lot of
Easier.
people do that for themselves.
Yeah,
But-
because it may also,
But
Okay,
it's
I'm
good
going to go back over to the host now. Thank you,
Good to
Evelyn.
have, good to have the photographic evidence, though, is what you're saying.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Because like
And
I
if you
said,
don't-
you got a lot on your plate, a lot of things you're thinking
a
about.
good idea.
And you're overwhelmed, I don't remember everything that I have in my house. We're
course.
starting to clean out a couple of our sheds, and it's like, where the hell did that come from? I don't know, but it's there.
Yeah, exactly.
You
so
know?
I was in my garage, which is amusing unto itself. So I'm going through stuff because I know I got to get rid of stuff. And I think I'm shocked at how much Christmas stuff is
You
in
don't
there. 'Cause I
remember
did-
what you have.
No, I didn't
You're
remember
like,
this.
we're like little squirrels. We just
Sam, this
pack
one's
our
for you.
nuts.
Didn't the other sheet say 28,000 registered voters? And well, it's 78,000. I just looked it up on the state.
That's the whole,
on-
the
on-
whole city.
Yeah, that is the whole city.
Yeah,
right.
28,000 is just the 3 districts.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And 2,500 voted in the 3 districts.
Because it's probably like a primary and,
And Chelmsford doesn't have their
So roughly
local election
10%.
until April. We do have town meeting coming up in
Thank you for your
October.
comments.
Yes, thank you.
And I haven't read any of the warrant articles yet, but you said you were having a FinCom meeting this evening?
Yes, so we'll be going over the warrant tonight. It's a lot of zoning articles.
Well, we also have ATEF, there's one of
So
those.
that means
Bylaw.
that when we get to town meeting, we have 165 land use experts
There you go.
ready to make those decisions, right?
Absolutely, I'm one
It
of them.
drives me wild.
Well, if you
right?
remember, Sam,
Well,
as
you
you're
know a
going,
lot more about it than most people
if you're
do.
going over it, just remember, if ATEF doesn't appear there, it has to.
No,
We're doing a
if-
slight bylaw change.
Is it on the warrant?
It's supposed to be.
Well, then it'll be there.
Yeah. I submitted that to the town manager by our committee
Okay,
recommendation.
so you should be able to go on the town website and find it, or one of the select board.
I'll do something, just to
agendas,
double
they'll
check.
have- they'll
It's-
have
yeah,
it
Because I did
yeah.
submit it well in time.
It is on the website.
And Paul knew it, because I let him know after the meeting when we were going to
Meaning the
change
town
it.
manager.
Yes, the town manager knew it, because I contacted him to let him know we were going to put an article on the town, fall town meeting.
Say
Tomorrow
sometimes
City
it gets
Life,
bundled
Cliff
in
Krieger's gonna be the host.
with
Eileen
budget and
Del
stuff.
Rossi's expected, Fred Bahu's coming, Jose Cervantes is coming, and Virginia Fatacanti, she'll be here co-hosting with, try-hosting tomorrow.
5 people.
Time is short, Ev.
Is there anything we missed to ask you because of all the different hats that you wear, or anything that you'd like to say?
No, I got my piece.
Committees,
my piece
dogs,
done.
and insurance, right?
Yep, come to
Okay.
the holiday decorating committee meeting when I decide to post it.
When you decide to post it.
Well, you can let
I'm
us,
easily
That's good, I like
distracted between all
if
this
you let us
insurance
know
stuff.
well in, if you let us know well in advance, we can make that.
As long as you do it
announcement, like
48
next week.
hours in
And
advance,
yeah.
you're in good shape.
Oh, yeah, I hate doing the posting of meetings.
I just got back to the office after taking 2.5 days off, and it's just like, okay, that was a mistake. And I kept the phone with me, that's the irony of it all, but we'll get there.
So, next week on Our City Life, I'm going to see who we have. I think it's.
Sorry, I closed the calendar already, I'll open it up.
On the 18th of September, we have town manager coming in. And on the 25th, we
Oh,
have
that's
John
good about the
Moses
dog
coming
park.
in. When he comes in, we can certainly ask him the status of his nonprofit. And also, there was that mega earthquake that was in Afghanistan, and whether or not that affected anybody that he knew or was in a region that he was
Well,
familiar with.
Hopefully, the status of his nonprofit is that he's not making a profit, okay? Because if he is, he's in trouble.
Well, Vivian, earthquake is not covered, correct?
Yeah, it is.
But
It is?
But
You
it's
have to have a
separate.
special endorsement for
But for a
it.
regular person, the earthquake isn't covered.
Right, yeah, on an unendorsed policy, it is not.
But
Neither
you
is
can
flood.
get-
But
you
what
But
can
you
get
can
the-
get it.
Okay,
And what
that's
is the deductible?
You pick it. It can be 2,000, it can be 5%, it's whatever you pick it.
Right, but it's not small. Well, my father, when we first looked into
And it
it,
doesn't cover like masonry type stuff, like your foundation.
Oh, really? Ooh,
Yeah, it'll cover the house, but not the foundation, because that's part of the ground.
That's true.
it's crazy. So, we're almost to the end.
Chance you take living life.
Thank you very much for coming in,
You're welcome.
sharing with us on the dog park in Chelmsford.
I like that
So you
comment.
want to take a look at that Halloween party?
take-
Do you have a date on your
I'm gonna
Halloween
remember
party?
that.
Vivian?
Yes.
Date on the Halloween party?
It's October 18th.
Okay.
I don't remember the time right now.
No, that's
but-
okay. People can check, because we'll have enough
Yep.
time. You can let us know if you have any
That's a
flyers
century
and send us
away.
that.
Right?
Not
It's-
really.
it's a month away.
It's like a week away. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's how
it's-
fast it's going.
Yeah, time goes by real quickly.
My brain is still in July.
The older you get, the faster it goes.
Anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Sam, for getting up extra
They say
special
it's like a
early.
roll of toilet paper.
Everybody stay safe. Be careful what it is that you're doing. Be aware of all your surroundings at all times, because you never know what's going to happen as a result
be
of
a
what happened
dog.
yesterday. So we hope to see you next week. If there's any questions that you have, make sure that you can text them to 978-808-8200. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.